Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to film today's video and I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. Today I have 5 Nespresso iced coffee recipes for you. All of these are very easy to make and they only require a few ingredients each. You actually don't even need any syrups or anything for any of these recipes, so a lot of them you probably already have the ingredients in your house, or you can improvise by using alternative ingredients. I tried to make it very easy but also very fun. Also, it is an espresso video because I have an espresso machine, but you honestly don't need an espresso machine for this. You could use any espresso shots or any coffee that you have and just make it iced. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I am absolutely in love with coffee, so yeah, I don't know why I didn't make this sooner because I love trying out new recipes, and I actually just got an espresso shipment in, so it's like the perfect time to film this video. And I'm also very caffeinated because I already made one of the coffees and this is my second one that I'm having, and they're so freaking good, let me tell you. I think this one is probably gonna be my favorite. It's the maple syrup one. It's just so good. It tastes so much like a latte you would buy. Honestly, it tastes better to me than a latte you would buy at like Starbucks. Without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we have one of the most refreshing summer recipes, a coconut cold brew. So you're going to start by brewing 2 shots of espresso or a double espresso pod. I have a dulce pod here. I know what you're thinking. This is supposed to be a cold brew recipe, and yes, we will be adding cold brew at the end. Just bear with me here. So next up, you're going to want to froth your milk. Here I'm using an organic coconut smoothie from Trader Joe's. It's basically just coconut milk. I'm not sure why they call it a smoothie, but anyways, you're just going to add that to your frother and hold down the frother until it turns blue because that's a cold setting. And while that is frothing, you're just going to add some ice to your mason jar and shake it up so that way the espresso gets cold. I usually use a shaker for this, but I thought it would be cuter if I used a mason jar. And then you're just going to pour that over another cup of ice and try not to spill it like I did. And now you're going to add your cold brew concentrate because we need that extra caffeine boost. And then on top of that, some coconut water to hydrate and make it a little bit sweeter. And then next we're just pouring in our frothed milk, which I discovered didn't really froth very well, but that's okay. Just to top it all off, we're gonna add some coconut whipped topping. And there you have it, a nice refreshing summer treat. And next is my personal favorite, the maple syrup latte. So you're just gonna start out by brewing a double shot of espresso. You can use the same one as last time or a different one. I used the Sharo for this one. This one I just decided to use the cocktail shaker instead of the mason jar just so I didn't spill it everywhere again. And next we're just gonna be frothing our milk using this specific milk because it is the best for frothing ever. I've discovered that the more fat the milk has, the better it is at frothing. And now I'm just going to be adding my maple syrup to the espresso. I do about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons. I don't like it too sweet, but you guys could add more if you want. And then I'm just going to be shaking up the espresso and pouring the froth on the bottom and then adding the espresso shot to the top. I honestly drink this one every day. You guys need to try this out. And next one, we're going a little crazy, doing a vanilla granola butter latte. Got a little fancy for this one. I'm doing a double shot of espresso again and then adding my granola butter to the espresso before it brews so that way it all kind of melts together. And then I'm making my frothed milk with the same milk that I used for the last recipe. I didn't measure anything, but I would say I use about half a cup of milk. And before I add my ice, I'm just mixing it all together because it did have like a little bit of pieces at the bottom, but the more I mixed it, the more it blended. So I'm just adding the ice now and shaking it up in the mason jar. I find that shaking up your espresso really helps so that way it doesn't melt the ice when you pour it over top. I'm just pouring my frothed milk on the bottom again and then adding the espresso to the top. I just think that it looks prettier this way. And once again, if you have a cocktail shaker, it's a little bit more practical. This one was so good. I found that the vanilla granola butter was the perfect amount of sweetness. And this one goes out to all my cereal lovers out there, a cinnamon swirl latte. You're going to want to start by making your cereal milk. So you're literally just going to pour cereal into a bowl and milk over top. I'm using these cinnamon squares from Trader Joe's. Basically just a Cinnamon Toast Crunch knockoff. You're just going to let that soak for about 15 to 20 minutes so that way the milk can get all nice and sweet. And while that is soaking, you are going to want to brew your espresso. We're doing a double shot again and just adding a little bit of cinnamon to the mason jar. And once again, you're just going to shake up your espresso with some ice. And now that the milk has been soaking, I'm just going to strain it into my frother and make a huge mess, of course. And while that is frothing, I just decided to add my espresso shots first. And now just adding the cereal milk on top. It got so nice and frothy. Look at that. So creamy. And I wanted to make it nice and fancy by adding some more of that coconut whipped cream and then topping it off with some of the dry cereal. And last but certainly not least, we have our brown sugar shaken espresso with oat milk. So I am just going to be adding a little bit of brown sugar to the mason jar before the espresso brews. I only added about a teaspoon. You guys can add more if you want. I just don't like my coffee very sweet. And now I'm just brewing the espresso over the brown sugar so that it all melts together. I love watching the espresso brew. It's so pretty. And now I think you already know the drill at this point. We are just shaking up our espresso in the mason jar with some ice. And for this recipe, I am using oat milk. So I love to use this oat beverage from Trader Joe's. I find that it's way cheaper than a lot of the other oat milks, and it tastes very good. It also doesn't have a lot of added gums like a lot of them do. But anyways, and then we're just topping it with the 2 shots of espresso. Who needs Starbucks anymore? This literally took me 2 minutes. You guys have to try it. Okay, you guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and you try out one of these recipes. If you do like these types of videos, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know if you want me to try certain coffee recipes or any other drinks, honestly, because I really liked making this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.